Alright. This is one of my favorite servers. It stays populated, but then there's times that there's lulls in it, so that, I don't know, I feel like you can get gear at those times. Come on, get on up. Thanks, kid. Fuck. Fuck, man. I literally got one of the worst spawns ever. Fucking stupid, bro. Like, I'm heading west, and I see the fucking ocean, or the coast. Like, I don't remember seeing that anywhere on this map. You go west, and you see the coast. And, yeah, that's the coast. Just left it there. What up, bro? See, you got the base going on till we make a move. I'm gonna go see if I can get some shit. Usually this server is like, it's kind of in between. It stays semi-populated, but it also has its little lulls in it, so I feel like I can get loot here and PvP at the same time. I used to play on this server a lot. Well, ever since we messed with those Brits and shit, I stopped playing on this one. I used to know where the cars and shit were on this one. And who had them. Starving like Marvin. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? I didn't see it. Oh, let me cut this up real quick. Oh, no, I don't need those. I don't need armbands. I need rags. Oh no. What's this kid on, bro? Holy shit. Bro, what the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, that kind of makes me feel like none of that shit happened up at the base. He probably jumped off the ladder or something. Did something stupid. Here, hold on. Give me a second. Let me get in this house. What is wrong with that kid, bro? Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know, but I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck? I couldn't find it. Backpack, backpack. I need a backpack, backpack. Backpack loaded up with things and knickknacks too. I need a fucking weapon as well besides this knife. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Hold on. There, I gotta bring it up on my fucking. Hold on. Okay, where is Discord? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. What? What's wrong with that kid, bro? I was just looking at it. Bro, this kid's fucking something else, man. I don't know what his deal is. He used AI to bring. There's no doubt about it. Like, it's not even like drawn the same, or like, I don't know. You could tell it's not the same, even from the same book. Okay, let's go try to find some food. I need some food. I'm not worried about stream snipers. I actually try to welcome it. I'm not going to the base. You know what I mean? When I go there, that's when I'll stop it. I kind of what? I don't need that. Kind of welcome the stream sniping, to tell you the truth. Cat food. That's not on my favorite server. I told you sometimes I'm gonna have to ask you the server number again because I wasn't gonna put it on there. It's not on there. It's not on my favorites at all. Either one of them that you told me. Or that you told us or posted. I told you I wasn't going to save it there. I got a lot of them saved there, but there's a lot of random ones. Not random. They're all ones that I've played on in the past, but it ain't those ones. Yeah, I told you I'd probably ask you a couple times what those numbers were. Saw, wire, sharpers. Well, got one. Got one of them. Just one so far, though. Well, I'm gonna have to eat this. I'm gonna have to eat this. It's one of those emergency type situations. Man, I need a mag. Don't I need a mag for this gun? I sure do. Oh yeah, like I said, this server has its lulls in it. Like it's kind of full now, but it's not even. It's still short 20 people. Man, I had a whole bunch of shit with Sean before. Earlier, but we all got killed at Neve at the police station. Oh, don't be sick, bro. Don't be sick. Well, I was with Sean, so I knew I was going to have to push anybody that was out there once we were geared. I knew it. Plus, that's all Banks was talking about, was going to PvP, so... kind of knew it going in. Yeah, I fuck with him, man. Both of them are cool. I was the only one who did some sketchy shit, bro. So earlier I got killed, and then we were all standing around, and there was like 3 of us there, and then a 4th guy pulled up, but he had a fucking gas mask on, and he wouldn't take it off, and kids just kept taking forever, and we all told him, like, bro, take off the gas mask, take off the gas mask, take off the gas mask. And he wouldn't take off the gas mask, and I wasn't sure if it was the dude, so I shot him. Pretty sure it was the dude, and he didn't want to do anything with fucking 3 people there, and he was out of ammo because he was going around shooting up the town. I wasn't sure what he was on. And then the one guy I killed on accident. I was up on the train, swinging that fucking crowbar, and I hit one guy, and he fell backwards. I knocked him out. He must have quit because I was trying to revive him. Oh, you've seen it. I gave him a memorial. Oh yeah, that's when I found the silent guy. Yeah, that was the quiet guy that could communicate just a little bit. Oh, it takes so long to eat this food. Yeah, I went to bed too. Bro, I was watching MMA Guru stream. Did you see him fucking wrestling around with what the fuck is his name? I can't remember his name. All right. Yeah, he even wrestled dude. What the fuck is his name, man? He's about to fight yeah. Yeah, he was in there with Armand. Hey, dude's got some heart though. He fucking flat out told him, "Listen, bro, I've been running my mouth about you." he sat there and he stood on business in front of that dude though. He said, "I've been running my mouth about you. I've been super critical about you. I'm just not going to be fake and sit here and act like everything's cool." And then he was telling everybody, he was like, "Yeah, I deserve to get jumped when I go there. I'm still going to the event." He said, "I don't give a shit, but they'll be fine." He said, "But after all the shit that I talked, yeah, I deserve to get jumped." I can't believe that wrestlers in the UFC still think, like, I don't know. I mean, the Dagestanis are wrestling good and taking over, but he was talking like wrestlers are always going to dominate the strikers, and that's not always true. The strikers end up learning how to wrestle, or sprawl at least, so they can't be taken down. Somebody's going to figure out the key to these Dagestanis. Might be Ilya. Yeah, Helms, that's pretty good. Guru was talking about a guy that's coming to the UFC from another organization that's really good, and Armin was agreeing with him too that the guy's really good. He just needs to get in the UFC. Not a big Nagano fan, bro. He's just a heavyweight with power. We've seen him time and time again, and they always end up getting folded. What? That being said, the heavyweight division is a hard fucking division, though. Like, there's not a lot of talent there anyway. Like, not real talent. Oh, just accept Stipe. Stipe beat him up. They're 1-1. Well, he dropped him. Hey, but you know what? No matter what anybody says about the heavyweight division, anybody could. It's a puncher's chance, especially the way Nagano fights. Nagano's not a fucking real boxer, bro. It was already proven. Tyson Fury should have been able to drop him in the like Anthony Joshua did. But there's a lot of heavyweights out there with a chin, bro, and a right hand. That's all he's got. You don't really have nothing else. Tyson Fury ended up winning, though, didn't he? He didn't retire Stipe. Stipe still fought after that. He had 2 more fights. But Stipe was already old, bro. He was on his way out anyway. He's the most successful heavyweight in the heavyweight division. No doubt about it. And if you watch Stipe's old fights, Stipe is fucking good, bro. Yeah, yeah, that's totally true. Totally true. I mean, what are you gonna do, bro? It's a fucking sport that you have to be like that in the end. One more payday, and I'll get out of here. Everybody raises police station. I don't even know why I checked it. I did get a pair of pantalones. No, I got a shirt. No, pants. I got pants. Stipe's go watch Stipe's highlights, bro. They're not. Nagano's got a one punch. That's it. That's all he's got. He's got a one punch. That's it. The same thing as Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder didn't have nothing but a right hand. And yes, it's impressive. It is. I'm not gonna lie. You know, guys knocking people out like that. Yeah, it's impressive. And he's the hardest hitting heavyweight there's ever been. I don't have a bag or nothing. I don't like the heavyweight division. And you're saying Cormier's nothing. Cormier's not shit. Oh, bro, Cormier's the shit. He was really small for the heavyweight division and still went and got the title. Dude, go look at Stipe's fights. You watch any of Stipe's fights? Like, I didn't believe Stipe was that good either until I started watching his fights, and I'm like, wow, he's actually got some skills. Like, but it's mostly boxing. Well, I'm pretty sure he beat like Roy Nelson. He beat like everybody in the heavyweight division, bro. No, he's not. Stipe was knocking people out, bro. Go watch his highlights. Stipe was not boring. He sat right in front of him, in the pocket, trading punches and knocking people out. That's all heavyweights do. The heavyweight division fucking sucks, bro. There's not a heavyweight roster now. Who did Nagano beat? Nagano didn't beat anybody. Curtis Blades ain't shit. He beat Curtis Blades too. Stipe beat all the same people that Nagano beat. I think he's got more wins than Nagano. So he beat more people than Nagano did. He's the most winningest heavyweight to ever fight in the UFC. And if you go back and watch his fights, I don't think you're going to say he's that bad anymore because he wasn't that bad. I used to think so too, that he was just a bum, but actually, you go watch his fights. He's a really good boxer. That's what he went for. He always traded with people. And yeah, the heavyweight division sucks. The heavyweight division always sucks. You're never gonna find the real talent there. Even in boxing, you'll never find the real talent in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight division is just exciting because anybody can be dropped with one punch. You want to see exciting fights? Go watch welterweights or fucking middleweights. They got the power to knock people out. Yeah, they got the power to knock people out.
and they're fast, and they stay active more than heavyweights do. I can't stand watching heavyweights fight, for real, for real. The only good heavyweight that I for real think that was really good, and it was hit or miss with him, was Frank Mir. It was always like, which Frank Mir is going to show up tonight? And the heavyweights are more prone to injuries. They get injured way more in training. So they don't fight as often. Yeah, I don't like the heavyweight division. I talk shit about Stipe too. Right. 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 And go watch go watch his KOs too. Like he's not a bum, bro. He's got hands, for real, got hands. But he was getting old. In heavyweights, like I said, prone to injury. He was even old when he fought Francis, way out of his prime still. But, I mean, he was still in shape. Francis, I don't even think he's going to fight anymore, honestly. By shadow realming him when he was old. Like, I mean, yeah, and Cormier's no joke. Either is Overeem. Overeem's no joke either. Overeem's probably the most technical striker in the heavyweight division, period. He was, like I said, he was old. He retired not long after that, bro. He took his last fight. Oh, wait, he had one more fight after that, and then he took his fight with John Jones. I think he had one more fight after that. Or maybe it was just Steve, or maybe it was just Nagano and John Jones. But Stipe was already half out of it anyway. By that time, he was already like doing the firefighter thing full time. And I imagine it's got to be pretty hard to train for. Either can Francis. Obviously, he won't even fight again. The guy's a fucking punk. He fucking agreed to fucking fight for what is it, the PFL or one championship, and he's just like, fuck you guys, I ain't even gonna show up to an event. Got the paycheck and got the fuck on. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see him fight anymore either. His boxing career is done too. His only hope at making a big payday was fighting Jake Paul. He's never going to get in the boxing ring again. He's probably never going to get in the cage again. Yeah, he did. But he's still not. He's refusing to fight and show up at events. He's reneged on his contract. I guarantee they're not happy with him right now. He was voted like the liaison guy for PFL Africa. Hasn't even showed up for it. Not once. After all that shit he talked about getting fighters good pay and all this, and he wanted this and this and that for his contracts. Well, he's not. He's currently inactive. He's not a fighter anymore. And he gave up the UFC lineal champ to a boxer. That's his own fault for trying to fuck over the UFC and trying to just like tell them what he, hey, pay me this or I'm not fighting. That's not how that works. Obviously, because they just don't care about your business. They don't care to have him in there, even though he's a big draw. But Dana White did the same thing to another top contender, Daly, Paul Daly, when Daly punched Josh Koscheck. At the time, he was the number 170 pounder in the world. Are you still talking about Nagano, who ain't the champ of shit? He quit, bro. He gave up. He's done. He doesn't even have the lineal title anymore. He gave it up to a boxer. I believe Usyk's got even the MMA lineal title. Because Alexander Usyk beat Josh Anthony and fucking what's his name? Tyson Fury. That guy's a fucking monster for real. What, he got beat He got beat by those two, which he would be giving up the lineal title because if you beat the man, you get the title, right? The lineal title went to one of those two. Well, Stipe was a boxer, and so was Don Fry. I don't think the boxers would get that as annihilated as you think, as long as they had a wrestling background. Don Fry was a professional boxer, probably the first MMA. Nagano? Bro, Nagano is washed up. He's not coming back to fight. All he has is a right hand. He's like Kimbo Slice, bro. He's a gimmick. He's got no real skill. Besides, he could drop somebody with a right hand. Deontay Wilder was doing the same thing. The heavyweights, there's no good heavyweights fighting right now. None. Bro, they took the lineal title. The boxers took the lineal title from the MMA guys. That's how that works. They beat the man. He challenged him to a fight and lost. Bro, we should bring this back to the base. Look at this thing. Bro, he challenged him to a fight. He lost that fucking lineal title. And even so, if Francis decides to vacate, which he did, he vacated the title anyway because he's never going to fight again. Bro, he's done. Francis Ngannou will never fight again. He'll never come back to the UFC, and he thinks he deserves way too much money. I gotta turn this off now. This is going back to the base. Of course there's people for him to fight. He could fight Aspinall. Well, he can't fight Aspinall because he's never going to fight in the UFC again. Period. The fuck? There. I got the right one now. We got the right stuff, baby. Yeah, Nagano will vacate the heavyweight title anyway, so it goes to the next champ. Who's the next champ? It would be, well, the winner of what? Cyril Gane and fucking whoever. Volkov, is it? I think. I don't know. But that's who will have the lineal title then. If that's how you believe it, he vacated the title. He will no longer fight. And just because people are saying there's nobody for him to fight, there's plenty of people for him to fight. He hasn't fought them, so he can't say that he would absolutely beat them. He can't say without a shadow of a doubt that he's going to beat fucking Tommy Aspinall. He hasn't fought him. What did I say? 16 pound. Number 16 bear. This is not an up north spawn. That's okay. Going the wrong way anyway. Is this up north? That's what the edge of the map looks like. The Dipper. Boop, 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 boop. Oh man, I should have grabbed the one thing too. The saw. I want to find somebody else's base and put this there. Yeah, that's a better idea. Oh, hey. So Sean said they're not playing on that server anymore, and he wants me to go pick up some shit that he's got over there. He said we could keep it all. He says it's all like good loot, like M4s and shit. Nobody's touched it. But they won't be playing on that server anymore, he said. $13? Fuck that. And those are some pretty big names that dude KO'd. Overeem's no joke. Motherfucker beat up Brock Lesnar. I think that was post steroids, but he still had a couple wins post steroids. This fucking thing is loud. Legs, fuck. Charlie Kirk's here. Too bad I wasn't on that one server where I found all them crates. Put this right next to the. Put this inside the crates. Underneath the tree. Fuck, man. Thank God, finally. Yeah. Look at my chicken now. I don't know. What, he kicked you out or something? Where is this dude, man? He's down the street. Shooting up the place. That little wrestling dude? He's I forget what style of fighting that is, but it's like a it's a fucking African wrestling fucking shit. Yeah, I seen that guy. No, you know who I like? His name is Chris Bartlett or something like that. He's a fat black dude, but bro, you should see this guy fucking spinning and kicking and shit, bro. This guy is crazy. You never think a guy that big would spin and kick like that. You think there's no fucking way, bro. That's physically impossible. But no, he's doing it. I think they call him the Beast or something like that. Bro, Nagano is a one-trick pony. That's all he is. He is not a great fighter at all. He has knocked people out. That is it. I set it up. I was like, you know what's better is to go find somebody else's base and put that in front of it. But I was like, I got tired of carrying it around, so I just set it up in front of like a house. There's a guy back there who, oh, he might have hit the trap. Oh. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. What happens to the guy that you can't knock out? I mean, there's guys out there that you're not going to drop. And it's already been proven. The guys that stand around and wait for that one big shot, they always get taken out. There's always somebody that's going to show up that has some boxing skills or whatever. Like I said, I got tired of carrying it. And I went out and found another fucking thing anyway. I traded it for that. For the sharpening stone. Bro, and that's the end of his record. He had 21 fights, and that's all he's getting. When there's definitely guys out there that had 40, 30 fights. Yeah. Like I said, one-trick ponies, bro. They end up getting beaten. It was only a matter of time before somebody came along and fucking pieced him up. Because he's only got one shot. And don't get me wrong, it's really... Waiting to land that one shot is harder than it sounds. But at the same time, like... It's just, I don't know. It's not a skill that I'm super impressed with. How many what? Bro, Stipe's a better fighter than him, period. There's no question about it. Francis hasn't even had as many fights as him. And because he avenged his loss when the guy was an old man, he was an old man when he came back when he came and fought Francis the second time. And none of his wins were like that. None of them were just one punch and that's it. He pieced those guys up that he fought. Like, pieced them up. Like Daniel Cormier pieced up. And Stipe lost his power at the end. Like, why? I wouldn't say he lost his power. It's just that he got fighting a higher caliber guys that aren't as easy to knock out. And Francis, one of the things about Francis is he got propelled to the top by the UFC. Just like, what's his name is doing right now, Paddy Pimblett. And when the UFC gives you like fights, they give you tomato cans when they're trying to look out for you. They try to put you in a favorable position, especially a guy that's got the most knockout power in the UFC. Hell yeah, they're gonna promote that guy, and then they're gonna feed him fucking tomato cans, because that's what people want to see. They want to see this guy fucking knock heads off. Yeah, Francis should have took that fight with Jake Paul. He was offered that fight before Joshua Anthony. He could have made that money, and he ain't coming back to fight. He got that big contract through the PFL, and just fucked him. In his defense, though, he did run over and kill that little girl. I mean, that would fuck me up if I did it. I might not want to fight in fucking Africa either. And then his kid died, like, right before that. Yeah, there really hasn't been like a lot of good heavyweights fighting since Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier and all of them were in there. And Stipe was in the mix back then. He just didn't have a title. He was on his way up. I need to leave this town. There ain't shit here. Where's green? Uh-uh. Holy shit. What's it called? Is supposed to have one championship is supposed to put on Lethway fights pretty soon. That's where anything goes, even headbutts, but it's all stand up. There's no wrestling or nothing involved. The guy that is the champ of Lethway, he's a fucking beast, bro. He's a Canadian named David Leduc. He went over to Thailand and started whooping these Thais at their own fucking game. They were not happy about this. They sent everybody after him. But now they fuck with him because they couldn't beat him. Could not beat that guy. Nice and sunny out. Sunny days, keeping the clouds away. Could you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? It's a nightmare on my street. I remember Will Smith's video about fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah, that guy's pretty good. I like that. His style's pretty cool. Different type of wrestling. You know, that's why I like Tom Aspinall, because maybe he's a short little guy, little stocky dude, wears white trunks all the time. But he's like, his style of wrestling is different. It's like this African martial art. Yeah, he's really short. He's like 5'7" or 5'8" or something. Shorter than Daniel Cormier even. I always think it's cool when a smaller heavyweight dominates the bigger ones. Because, you know, you talk to the right people and they'll tell you that reach is not an advantage. Because when you're exchanging punches and dude's punching up, he's got his face covered when he's throwing shots. When you're punching down, you're not covering your head. Yeah, Fedor is definitely the best heavyweight. But I think it's unfair for Russians, though, because these guys were ahead of the game, bro. These guys were practicing Sambo for the last fucking 100 years. And that is MMA. They were doing MMA for forever. Before we even tried it. Before we even fucking had our first fight over in the U.S. These guys have been practicing it for years. That's why those Dagestanis are so good at what they do. Sambo. They're all Sambo players. It's crazy how Judo and Sambo call their fighters players. Yeah. I'm Greg Munson, or what's his? Not Greg. His name's not Greg Munson. Bob Munson or something. I'm Bob Munson. You want to see guys roll around? What? Munson actually was really, really good. I don't know if you know about this guy, but he's submitted a lot of fucking really good guys. And a lot of these guys, they fought over in shit like Dream and Ryzen or Pancration, something like that. The older ones fought in Pancration. I don't even think there's anybody still fighting that fought in that. Only by a couple years, bro. That's not true. That's not true. Hey, just because you fought in MMA doesn't mean you know tons of shit about MMA. There's tons of guys in there that don't know a dick about fucking other sports or anything. I watch all combat sports, everything from the NCAA wrestling, all of it. And I think MMA right now is like boxing in the 1800s. They're not where they could be. They're still evolving. It's not done yet. It'll be done when they can put it together and a guy is able to go into a boxing ring and take out boxers too. They'll start getting hands like that. And it'll be the standard. I need to cook this fucking food. Hopefully this is the place to cook here. I think it is. I need a mag for this. That's not true. James Toney came over. Don Fry was like, he was a professional boxer before anything. And then they had Art Jameson, who was all, well, he didn't win anything. Old Art didn't win shit. But Don Fry, that guy won everything, bro. Probably the toughest motherfucker to ever do it. Yeah, I like chicken. Not to mention the magnificent mustache the man had. You know, I'm convinced it was all the mustache winning those fights, bro. He's like, what's his name? Samson in the Bible. I want to talk to Samson. I want to talk to Samson. No, they'll get to that point where they're boxing like that. Where they can go into a boxing ring and it's going to be the standard. MMA is at its infancy, really. We're just now finding out what works and what doesn't. When for years we believed that in the dim mock and fucking stupid shit. Ah, what? Oh, Mike Perry also was a boxer. Phil Baroni was a boxer. Perry never won a title, but Phil Baroni did. And then immediately got disqualified. Still a professional boxer. Still had skills, and that's what got him to the top of the UFC. His boxing skills mixed with his wrestling. Randy Couture was also a boxer. Well, he boxed for the Army, which is pretty much amateurs. So lots of boxers have actually come over to the UFC to fight. It's happened. It does count. They're not scared. They just know that it's a different type of skill and it doesn't transfer over as well. Because they don't have to defend takedowns. Yeah, James Toney went to go fight in MMA. They're not scared, bro. They just know that these guys, first of all, they go take an MMA fight, they're taking a huge pay cut. A huge pay cut. Why do you think the MMA guys are going over to box and losing all the time? They're comfortable with it because they're getting a big fat paycheck. No, you said that boxers don't come over there. They're too scared. I just listed a ton of boxers that came over to the UFC that weren't scared. Boxers are not scared to go to the UFC. It's just that they know that it's a losing battle unless you have a wrestling background. They don't defend takedowns. It's not a thing for them. They don't have to worry about leg kicks. Another thing that they don't have to worry about or learn how to defend. Don Fry is a real boxer. He was a real professional boxer, bro. You didn't say boxing champs or elite boxing level. The matter of fact, to just be a professional, you're almost on an elite level. You're out of the amateurs. I mean, there's Cubans that don't even have a professional career, but they've had 200 amateur fights. Don Fry could have had a shit ton of amateur fights. We don't know. Nobody ever lists an amateur record. He's still a boxer. Regardless, he's still a boxer, came over to the UFC. His skill set transferred over because he had a wrestling background. And he dominated. Just like any other boxer, if a boxer were to come and learn wrestling, they're going to dominate, bro. But they're not learning wrestling. Why would a boxer learn wrestling? There's way more money in boxing. Way more. There's no reason to even take an MMA fight. They don't get paid like that. If I was a boxer, even at a high level, why would I ever take an MMA fight? I'm taking all the risk, right? I'm taking all the risk. He's not taking any risk. He's not going out of his comfort zone. I'm the one going out of my comfort zone and getting paid far less than what I would normally get paid. That's why you don't see boxers coming over there at a high level. It doesn't make sense. Not for them. They won't get paid like that. And Floyd's talked about it, but he'll never do it. There's a couple other guys that had professional boxing careers, but they didn't last long, especially if you're gonna go sign up with, and fight in MMA, or fight for UFC in your 20s. I mean, how big of a record could you possibly have? Yeah, I know. He only fought Randy Couture, but he still came over there, and he came over there, and it wasn't because of money, because he already had money. He came over there because they were talking shit, right? But they set him up against the best wrestler in UFC. I named another boxer. Don Fry is a boxer, bro. Regardless of whatever you want to say, he's got a professional boxing record, which makes him a boxer. He's also has a couple UFC championships under his belt. And he held the lineal title. Because there's a lot of UFC champs that didn't hold the lineal title during the Pride years. Because the lineal title went right over to Pride. Don Fry is a boxer. What are you then if you have a professional boxing record? That doesn't make you a boxer? Since when? Even if you only had one fight as a professional, you're still a boxer. No, it means you're a real boxer, bro. If you boxed even one time, you boxed. And he didn't fail. He's got a win. He's got 2 wins, as a matter of fact. That means he beat another professional boxer. A boxer is somebody who boxes, bro, who's had a professional boxing career. That doesn't mean you have to be good at boxing to be a boxer. There are a ton. You know what a jobber is? You know how many jobbers there are out there that are just there to be tomato cans? But if you do a surgery on somebody twice, 2 out of 5 times, and you're successful, does that make you not a surgeon? He's a boxer, period. Especially since he's got wins on other professional boxers. Randy Couture was also a boxer. There's also a ton of MMA fighters with Cuban fucking amateur careers that don't even get listed as a record. Does that mean they're not boxers? Yeah. You're just not a very good surgeon. You could be a professional at something and still suck at it. That doesn't take away the fact that you're still a professional. Nah, I tried. Usually they got guns over here, man. There's no fucking guns. Oh, I need a mag for this too. Is that it? Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. I can tell that already. No, you don't, bro. I don't think you've ever heard of a jobber before. These are guys that keep, for like the good guys, boxing because they need to win against somebody. Yeah, they do. There's literally people with a 2 and 171. Look it up. Look up the worst boxing record in history. It gets way worse than that, believe me. At least he's got to win. There's guys out there without wins. And then, like I said, what about the Cubans that have a huge amateur boxing career, but it's not going to be listed because amateur careers aren't recorded? Is he a boxer? He's had 200 boxing bouts. Does that make him not a boxer because he never fought a professional fight? I'm just saying there's a reason why elite boxers don't come to the UFC, and it's all about money. It has nothing to do with them being scared. Because if they were offered the same amount of money, they would be trying to stuff takedowns, believe me. Or you'd see a lot more boxers learning to stuff takedowns. If he's got a record that you can read like that, those were sanctioned fights. Those weren't exhibitions. Exhibitions don't count on your professional record. And like I said, what about the Cubans that fight 200 amateur fights? Because that's definitely a thing, and those fights aren't recorded. They're not. Half of them aren't. Well, more than half of them aren't even videotaped. But that doesn't make those people any less of a boxer. Bro, they are prize fighters. That's what they fight for, is a prize. Most of them are fighting just to get a paycheck. You ever hear Nick Diaz's interviews? No, Nick Diaz doesn't even want to fight, bro. Or Nate Diaz don't even want to fight. He fights, he don't like fighting. It's something he was good at. And when you talk to a lot of them, that's what a lot of them say. It's just something I was good at. Yeah, if you have a professional boxing record, your fights were sanctioned, bro. No question about it. Every professional boxing, like if you have a boxing record at all, every single fight that you fought was sanctioned. The only fights that aren't are like exhibitions or amateurs. Or the freak show fights. Go listen to his interview, bro. He says he does not like the fight. Bro, for knowing a lot about MMA, you don't watch a lot because it clearly in his interview he says, I don't even like the fight. I do it because it's what I know how to do. Two and 100? I don't know. Let me look at Chat GPT. They'll tell me. I was just watching the guy on YouTube the other day. He fights out of a Toyota Corolla and drives to all these fights like every week. He fights once a week for like I don't know how big of a check he said he gets. But he was talking about it on there. What's the worst record in professional boxing? Buck the Preacher Smith, 12, 179 and 9. Yep, 179 losses. Fought basically anyone, anywhere, anytime. Career lasted decades. This is usually cited as the worst record by sheer numbers. The dude wasn't boxing, he was a professional opponent. Reggie Strickland, record 66, 127 and 1. Fought world champions constantly. Known as the opponent's opponent. Took fights on days' notice. Still respected because he actually tried to win. Reggie's record looks awful, but context matters. He was thrown to killers non-stop. Worst win percentage, Eric Butterbean Jr. Eric Crumble. Record 16, 77 and 2. Win percentage around 16%. Frequently stopped. This is one of the lowest ratios for a long career. Joe Grimm, record 18, 107 and 6. Yeah, Those are all real boxers, bro. With shit records. No, he said this back before he even fought in Pride. Before he fought in Pride, he said this. So this was over a decade ago. Over 15 years ago. And then there's, like I said, the jobbers. Like, jobbers are guys that aren't ever going to get a title shot. They just go in there and they fight probably once a month. They probably got a record like 30-30 or some stupid shit. And most people aren't taking fights all the time. Like, what you're saying, like, if you're a real fighter and you want to win and you want to be the best, then it's anyone, anytime, right? Well, Francis Ngannou isn't an anyone, anytime, anywhere, anytime kind of person. Go watch the interview, bro, and you can tell by the look on his face. Matter of fact, there's a guy that does documentaries on these fighters. What the fuck is his name? Oh, man, I can't remember his name, but he does documentaries on all these guys. Go watch that. Go watch Nate Diaz's documentary, or Nick's documentary. Nick was way better than Nate. Nick was actually like pound for pound #1 in the world at one point in time. Now he's out there on dope. There was a real athletic commission back then. How do you think this shit happened, bro? Like, what? There's a guy currently right now with a shit record, too. But all of these guys have real boxing records. All of these guys fought real fighters. The one guy fought fucking top names all the time. But you're going to take a fight in a day's notice. Yeah, you're probably going to lose that fight, bro. Bro, there was an athletic commission back then. The athletic commission's been around since the early 1900s. It's not like we didn't have one. And it's been the same rules since they switched over from the Queensberry rules. Since there was no gloves. All the same rules. Even better. Who cares if they didn't have brain scans? I don't care if my fighters get checked up. I don't give a fuck if they're healthy or not. I want to see blood. I want them to fight. I don't care if they have brain scans or can be told they can't fight anymore. How are you going to tell a grown-ass man he can't fight no more? I definitely know how the athletic commission works. I don't think that you know very much about combat sports. Not like you say you do. Because you would know all the information I was giving you. You would know all of that. Especially that there was an athletic commission. Like, the athletic commission didn't just start in the fucking 1986 or something. Who cares about the brain scan? They still had an athletic commission before they talked about CTE, bro. CTE is relatively new. They just started talking about this shit in the last couple years. They didn't give a fuck about fighters' brains back in the fucking 80s. They just started that in the, what, 2000... I'd say like 2006 was about the first time. Know how what works? A brain scan? Bro, they've had the athletic... Do you even know what an athletic commission... I don't think you were. I don't believe you. I really don't. It sounds made up. Send a picture. Send some pics. Send some pics, bro. I don't believe you. I really don't. For as much as you say you know about fighting and MMA, you're not telling me nothing. There's been an athletic commission since the early 1900s. And just because you fought there doesn't mean anything either, because I got tons of friends that fought in small organizations. I mean, they were sanctioned fights, but what'd they have, like 3 fights? Didn't mean they knew everything about MMA either. Yeah, the eye test has been a thing forever. The brain scan is relatively new because of CTE. They never cared about CTE in the past. Until not fighters, it was actually NFL players that got this started. And then they were like, oh, fighters got to have it too because they keep taking shots to the head. They're also the one, well, they don't administer the drug test. They have a fucking separate company administer drug tests. That's how MMA does it. Boxing usually has the same fucking company that sanctions fights. have something to do with the drug testing. But yeah, I mean, a boxing commission's been there forever. They had to make sure their fighters weren't sick when they came in there, like had a communicable disease like TB or something. It's been there forever, bro. They just didn't worry about CTE back then. CTE wasn't they never even thought about it. They knew about fighters getting punchy and shit. Like, I mean, when Muhammad Ali started losing it, they knew that it was from taking too many hits to the head. Oh, I need to get somewhere and cook this shit. You got pictures of any of your fights? Bro, they didn't start them brain scans until CTE was a major thing. They didn't care. They cared about detached retinas, AIDS, tuberculosis, hepatitis. That's why they let Muhammad Ali go in and fight Larry Holmes. And then they pulled his license right after that. That was done by the Athletic Commission. Yeah, then they banned him from fighting ever again. The Athletic Commission is also corrupt as fuck too. Back in the day, oh, the Boxing Athletic Commission is. They fucking they robbed Tommy Morrison. They told him he had AIDS. He didn't even have AIDS. So the Athletic Commission ruled that Tommy Morrison couldn't fight. Well, I mean, why would he? He had AIDS. But that's what they thought until they found out he didn't have AIDS. Somebody switched his test, probably Don King. Because Don King was promoting some of his fights. He was promoting the fight with Lennox Lewis, and then the fight with no, I'm not saying he had a losing record, but he got, at the end when he fought Larry Holmes, the Athletic Commission told him he couldn't fight anymore. And that was done by, like I said, that was done by the athletic commission. They didn't. They let him fight when he was all fucked up. When he fought Larry Holmes, he was like stuttering and shaking. Then they shouldn't even let him fight. Oh, he hit the hole. I tried. I didn't even need it. I just wanted to see if I can kill him with a knife. What? That don't belong here. Oh shit. The wife's gonna be home in a little bit. She got into a car accident. She thought she broke her collarbone. Turns out she's just bruised up. Blew a tie rod, I guess. Alright, yeah, I gotta get ready. Should be here in about a half an hour.